You may know already, but Zapier has the ability to create chatbots. Specifically, these chatbots can be integrated into your website or alternatively be used internally for your business. Zapier announced a new feature that now we can actually use tables as a data source for our chatbots. So in today's video, we're going to learn how relevant this is to us for our business. On top of that, we're going to understand what this means in the context of internal use for our business. Let's jump in. So I've done a good amount of videos on Zapier's features, specifically when it comes to chatbots. This is different from Zapier Central. Zapier Central seems more like very much internal use, plus like next level when it comes to automations and communication in that context. Zapier chatbots, if you're not familiar with it, think of it just like a regular old chatbot. But it's Zapier's version, as it allows us to connect to their entire ecosystem when it comes to interfaces and automations. I'm going to leave this video right here, which is just a video showing you how to integrate it into your website if you're interested in doing that. But in today's video, I'm just going to go over the new feature that got added recently, which is pretty cool, which allows us to cipher through table data. This can be used in the context of either your chatbot on your website, e.g. you have a product CSV you want to import into tables and then chat with the chatbot, or alternatively, used for internal data, like looking through data that you have internally and talking to a UI that is like a chat-like interface. Let's see what we can do now. So I got some data here. I'm actually going to add a couple more rows, so bear with me. So I'm going to add, a couple more records here so we can actually prove and gut check this new technology. And then let me add some names here. Sam, Adam, Ashley. I'm assuming that you would already have data here. Jennifer. And then we can go ahead and add some emails here. Basically, the major use case of this feature is that if you are leaning into Zapier heavily right now, and you're kind of already building on top of its ecosystem when it comes to interfaces, think of that like landing pages, and maybe in the future, like websites, and then tables, think of it like a database that you can start leveraging. So maybe a more active Excel sheet. And then obviously the big kahuna here, which is going to be the automations itself. If you are leveraging all of it, this is just like another tack on where you're like, okay, cool. Now I can actually look through my data faster and in a more expedited way. And for the numbers, we'll just go ahead and say everyone has the same number. We're going to go ahead and change some variables over here. We'll go ahead and do 5100, 100, 500, 500 plus, and 1050. Because the purpose of this video is I want to gut check this. I want to see how good and how accurate this can be when searching through our data. Got my table set up. Let's go ahead and integrate it into our chatbot. Coming over to my chatbot here, I've named it Chatbot Data Reader. Seems like an obvious name because it's going to read data. For the greeting type, I'm going to say static. Greeting text, fine. Ask, input, placeholder, ask me anything. That's the thing right here. We've done a bunch of videos on this, y'all, so you can check them out. OpenAI authentication, I can leave as none for now. And then the model you want to choose really is dependent on your use case. So because of the fact that we're searching through tables, we're searching through a bunch of data, and the use case here is just finding and basically formatting data, we can stick with 3.5 because of the fact that this model actually is pretty effective in the context of formatting and finding data. If we were using this chatbot in a more higher level threshold when it comes to the types of outputs we're looking for, we would increase it to 4. What do you mean by that, Corbin? If you were going to use this chatbot in the context of writing social media captions, writing articles, whatever it may be, the endpoint or the end value point is a human will look at it, will visually look at it, then you would want to increase to 4. But if we're just searching through data and ciphering through data, we can proceed with 3.5. Creativity, we can leave it at 0.7. If you want consistent outputs, we'll leave it at 0.1. If we want it to go a little crazy on us, let's go to 1 or random, 0.1. Let's leave it at 0.6. Actually, we'll go in the middle, 0.5. Disclosure, none of this is really relevant in today's use case because I just want to show you if you were to use this internally on your team. We're going to hit instructions. First, we're going to hit save. All right, now that we'll be saved here, we're going to hit instructions. And this is not too relevant here. We can just, you're a chatbot, your helpful assistant. We could basically laser this in a little bit more for the context of what we want to use it for. So maybe we'll say you are a chatbot, helpful assistant when looking through our customer data. This can get more advanced. I'm going to save changes here. We're going to add a source. The source we're going to add today is going to be tables. This is going to be a big deal, y'all. Here's why it's going to be a big deal. Up to this point, we've only been able to add a file. And that file has only been 1 megabyte. And if you watch that video reference in the beginning, you'll notice that we'll have to basically provide that file in a text format so that the actual file size is as less as possible. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. Therefore, so it allows us to upload it. What's great about this feature and allowing us to go to tables is we can deal with a lot more data that we can reference. We can do 1,000 rows. That's powerful. We're going to go ahead and find the table. It's going to be customer list. We can add a description if we choose to do so. Let's just say add source. It's going to load it in, or it's going to fail to connect the data source. It's going to load it in. Sometimes software just requires a real quick refresh. Don't worry about it. Session storage, local storage. Is it cached? Is it not cached? Do you want to eat cookies? No. Okay. Here we go. So we got when results are not found, generate an AI response without the knowledge source, or we can set a custom message here. So for example, sorry, I'm not able to provide the answer. That could be useful. So we don't just get randomness. We're going to go ahead and say anytime you make a new change to your data source, specifically in this context, a table, you're going to hit sync. But since we don't need to do that for now, we can start testing this out. So let's go ahead and gut check this. First off, how many customers do we have? And it should say 5. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was actually running into a lot of errors. Too many errors. So I was like, what's going on here? Obviously, I didn't do something correct. And this is what I didn't do correct. In your instructions, you have to put in very specific dictation to reference the specific knowledge source you wanted to use in the chat. If you don't do this, it's not going to give you any answers. It's actually going to be like very confused. Therefore, use a line like this. I reference the table by saying custom list, and in the actual pop-out, I say use customer list knowledge source to answer questions. Let's open this link right here and proceed. Furthermore, as you saw with that link, you can actually share this with your team. So the use case here would be like you upload your table that you're already using with Zapier, and now you can kind of proctor it in a manner like this. What are all our customer names? We should get 5 here. There we go. I'm actually going to shrink y'all super small. From here, let's gut check a little bit. We're going to say, give me the emails for Adam and Corbin. You should see adam@gmail.com. And we should see Webrista at webcafecommerce.com. There we go. So far, so good. Give me all the customers who were interested in our service. Let's see if it's smart like this. So what I'm gut checking here is the checkboxes here. So we should see Corbin, Adam, and Jennifer. Corbin, Jennifer, and Adam. Okay. Next thing to check out here is let's see if it can identify based off company size and understand a variable like this. So we're going to say, give me the individuals who have employees, or the amount of employees is over 100. Which customers have a business with employees over 100? Should be 2. Can I do this? Okay, Adam, Ashley, let's see. Adam, yes. Ashley, yes. Pass that. Now to service level, you might be like, Corbin, what's the point here? You have 5 different customers. Why would you need to talk to a chatbot like interface in this context? Well, if you remember, when I imported this table, it can do up to 1,000 rows. Therefore, this kind of conversational setting here would be a lot more effective in the context of like needing to cipher through 1,000 different customers for specific context and for specific data points. So much so, I can go as far and say, for Corbin, what were our additional notes? So maybe I'm ciphering through customers. I'm like, you know what? Wait, what was Corbin again? Okay, these were the additional notes we had. Okay, that's the new integration between Zapier tables and chatbots. Let me know if you're going to leverage this in your business. I see this more along the lines that if you're already using Zapier's ecosystem with interfaces, chatbots, and tables, this just seems like a cherry on top where it's like, okay, well, now I can actually just lean in further into the ecosystem and leverage this kind of technology. Also, Zapier Central is crazy. If you don't even know what I'm talking about, you should check that out. It's a whole other part of the ecosystem that's taking this stuff to like the next level when it comes to AI and automation. But without further ado, I'm gonna leave a playlist at the end here you should check out. I'll see you in the next video. That's the playlist I was referring to. This is going over AI and Zapier and everything you need to know. That's a random video of my face. Maybe not my face. And this is my face. Click it, don't click it. May or may not happen.